Canada. Strap in for the craziest story you've ever heard. I grew up with my mom. My dad walked out on us shortly after I was born, so I never knew him. But that didn't matter. Mom was the sweetest, most magical person on the planet. Weekends were like a cupcake wonderland. And bedtime stories were next-level adventures, thanks to her silly animated voices. She never seemed to run out of characters. But even though my mom was the sweetest, I was the exact opposite. I had terrible anger issues, but I had a very good reason to be mad. It all started on Halloween night when I was 6. After spending the whole day getting and eating candy, I woke up that night super thirsty. So I tiptoed to the kitchen. But as I walked by Mom's room, I saw something strange. The door was slightly open, and inside, she sat in this weird candle circle, looking at some cards with some weird pictures on them. But that wasn't the strangest part. The next day at the supermarket, I saw the same person. I was super spooked. Why did Mom have a picture of this guy? When we got home, I asked her if she knew him. When she said she didn't, I had the wildest realization. There was only one possible explanation for this. Mommy, are you a real-life witch? Mom smiled ever so sweetly. Of course not, sweetie. What are you talking about? But I saw you last night with a picture of the same man, Mommy. Her response was that I must have been dreaming. Honestly, at first, I bought her story. Except, I decided to stay up that night. To my shock, I saw the same thing that night too. In fact, I saw her do that very often. And when I asked her about it, she would say I was dreaming. My mom was lying to me. And this was the reason that made me angry all the time. Why was my mom this weird? Ugh. As I grew older, I started getting into trouble for all sorts of things at school. This one time, the most annoying kid in my class refused to give me the watering can while we were watering the plants during gardening class. I can't give you the can. You're a plant. I was a plant, all right. A Venus flytrap. I grabbed the hose and sprayed that little brat. Who's the plant now? A few years later, when I was 8, I had this silly art teacher who insisted that elephants were gray instead of pink. But I like pink. There will be no pink elephants in my classroom. And there'd be no dull teachers in mine. I went full-on Picasso on her and painted all over her face. When Mom found out, she was mad. And a week later, she found the craziest solution for my anger. She took me to a soccer club. This will help channel your anger. Or you could tell me the truth. I don't know what you mean. I was determined to keep fighting. But to my shock, Mom was actually onto something. When I was on the field, I didn't feel angry. Besides, it turned out that I was super good at soccer, so I started practicing at home. A few days later, I was practicing at home when I kicked the ball soaring over the fence. Ouch! Shocked, I peeked over the fence. What I saw could only be described as utter chaos. There, covered in gooey purple stuff, was a girl about my age with my soccer ball stuck to her head. Help me get this off! I scrambled over the fence, trying not to giggle. What's with this purple sticky stuff? I was making my own slime. Oh, can I help? I'm Soraya. I'm gonna grow up and become Girl Messy. And I'm Brittany. And I love science. From that day on, we were inseparable. As I grew older, I got used to Mom's mysterious cards and her black candles. Clearly, she would never tell me what was up. So, whatever. But on my 16th birthday, everything changed. That night, Mom and I were celebrating my birthday at a pizza joint, and she gave me a gorgeous bracelet. My mother gave this to me when I was 16. Keep it on at all times. It'll keep you safe. Before I could ask her, she rushed off to the bathroom, and I noticed her cards were in her bag. But when she came back, she looked like she'd seen a ghost. She grabbed my hand, and we sped home. Pack your things. We're leaving. What? Where? Why? I don't have time to explain. Pack now. I was stunned. Mom never yelled at me. Ever. I'm not leaving. I stormed off, slamming the door behind me. I wasn't about to leave everything behind because Mom was freaked out about something stupid that she wasn't even telling me about. But I was done with her and her stupid cards. I was so angry that I decided to sleep. But when I woke up the next morning, I freaked out big time. It was not my bed or my room. Where am I? I rushed out of the room. Mom? Mom? What was happening? Finally, I heard her. I'm in here, sweetheart. She was sitting calmly in the kitchen. Mom, where are we? This is our home now. I was furious, and I wanted to fight her, but she calmly walked out of the room. But to my shock, as she walked past me, I saw a pack of cards that she was hiding under the newspaper. What the heck was going on? I wasn't gonna let her get away with it. I ran back to my room, and thankfully, I still had my phone. I immediately called Britt. Where the heck are you? You won't believe me. My mother is crazy. I quickly explained everything that happened last night to Brittany. She was as shocked as me and asked what I would do. Let Operation Reunited begin. weird. Mom just seemed to appear out of nowhere. Wait, hold up a second. Zoom into Mom's purse. More. Just a bit more. There. The cards. Did they have something to do with it? To get my mind off my failed attempts, I decided to go to the only place where I could get rid of my anger. The soccer field. But when I got there, I realized that the girls' team was an epic disaster. Ugh, that's not how you do it. This is. As soon as I was done, the coach rushed to me, asking me to help the other girls. Since this was the only way to keep my head straight while I tried to get home, I agreed. Soon, we were winning every match we played. And then one day, the coach announced that we were taking part in the regional championship. I was thrilled. I guess Operation Reunited is on hold? Don't worry, Britt. As soon as the championship is over, I'm coming home. Just then, I heard something that made my blood run cold. Someone was tapping on my window. Terrified, I made my way to the window and gasped. It was Axel, the captain of the boys' soccer team.
44. zwischen 9. Tanz.
Wanna go to a party with me?
Axel was the cutest boy in school. Heck yes, I will definitely go. I instantly followed him out of the window, and off we went to the party. It was a literal blast. Axel and I pulled off some crazy moves on the dance floor. I thought I was in heaven, until suddenly the door burst open, and all the kids screamed. When I saw who it was, I froze. Mom? How on earth did she find me?
Let me guess. Your mom. I'll create a diversion so you can get away.
The next thing I knew, a spotlight shone on Mom's face, blinding her, and Axel was next to her, twirling her. I bolted out of there. That night, I called Brittany to tell her about the party. I am so shocked that Mom knew where I was. Do you think she bugged your phone? We ran a quick check for spyware on my phone and realized it was clean. Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind, and I decided to tell Brittany about Mom and the cards and the candles and all the weird stuff she was doing lately. For a moment, there was complete silence. OMG, I heard witches use those. Could your mom be a modern-day witch? I know it sounds dumb, but based on all the weird things that happened around Mom over the years, I realized Brittany could be right. So the next week, when Axel suggested we go to the arcade after school, I snuck into Mom's room to hide her cards, but I couldn't find them. So instead, I hid Mom's all-black candles before I left home. There was no way Mom could track me now. After a 30-minute battle with our opponents, we won. In the excitement, I threw my arms around Axel. I looked into his eyes and blushed. Suddenly, someone whacked Axel over the head with a broom. What are you doing? Are you trying to kiss my daughter? I was mortified. Mom, what on earth are you doing here? Me? What are you doing here? You should be home, not flirting. As Mom and I argued, Axel and the others walked away. Mom, you ruined everything. I hate you. The next day, I tried talking to Axel at school, but he ignored me, and I soon found out why. Some kids had made a video of Mom chasing Axel with a broom.
I can't be around someone whose crazy mom follows her everywhere. Leave me alone, loser.
I was totally heartbroken, and I ignored Mom completely. But I was also very curious. How did Mom find me without her candles? Suddenly, I had a crazy realization. All the craziness started after my birthday. What if she had cast a spell on the bracelet she gave me? I knew from my research that you could put spells on bracelets, and I wore it all the time. I yanked it off my wrist. I was done with Mom trying to control me. I really wanted to get out of here. But first, I needed to clear my head, and the upcoming soccer championship was just the way to do it. I didn't even bother asking for Mom's permission. On the day of the match, I knew she'd try to stop me. So I filled the washing machine with lots of detergent. And when Mom was knee-deep in soap suds, I slipped away to meet my team. To the championship! The game was intense. I had 1 minute to get the ball into the net, or it'd be a draw. Everyone was chanting my name, and I was pumped, ready to win this. But just as I was about to shoot the winning goal, Mom jumped out in front of me, and I missed the shot. Everyone booed, and for a second, I was in shock. Seriously, Mom? You have a GPS on me or something? I have my ways. Now let's go. I'm not going anywhere with you. Leave me alone. I bolted from the soccer field. I needed a place to stay until I figured out how to break her spell, and I knew just the place. The next day, my plan was set. I let Mom see me off to the school bus, but as soon as I was 20 minutes away from home, I jumped onto the first bus I found to my old town. Just then, my phone pinged. It was Mom, and what she said next left me shook. You're on the wrong bus. At the next station, get the 201 and get home. The message left me shaking in my boots. It was then I realized that Mom's magic was stronger than I thought. I quickly changed buses and got to Brittany's house. By the time I got there, I was super tired. Let's head up to my room and you can take a nap. A few hours later, I woke up to Mom's voice in the hallway. Soraya! Soraya, honey! I know you're here. Mama's here to get you. I jumped into Brittany's closet. Just then, Mom barged bed and said something that sent a chill down my spine. You told me she was here. Isn't that why I hired you, Brittany? To keep me informed of her whereabouts? I felt as though I was struck with a 1,000-pound weight. What the heck was I hearing? Did my best friend betray me for money? I burst through the closet door. You're the reason Mom knew where I was all those times. And for money? Just as I was about to pounce on Brittany, Mom stopped me. Soraya, please, don't get upset with Brittany. She was just trying to protect you. The only thing I need protecting from is you two. I'm out of here. No, just listen. It's your father. He wants custody of you, and he'll do anything to get it. What are you talking about? Where did he come in from? A few years ago, your dad started calling me and kept saying he wanted you back now that you were older and could get a job to give him money. What? That's insane. Mom, you could have just told me. You didn't have to act like a crackpot. I'm sorry. I was just trying to protect you so you would never find out what a bum your dad is. With your temper, I was afraid you'd do something stupid. So, I got Brittany to help me. We're sorry. I couldn't bear it if anything happened to you. I only took the money because you know my mom is ill and her meds are expensive. I felt my anger waver. Sweetheart, we're sorry. We allowed our fear of losing you to cloud our judgment. Can you ever forgive us? You two are the most important people in my life. We'll take some time to forgive you, but I understand why you guys did it. But next time, please don't hide anything from me. Deal? As for Dad, we'll get through that together. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I never realized you were becoming a smart, independent young lady, and you weren't a kid anymore. I love you. I'm so proud of you, and I love you both. Just then, a thought popped into my mind. But wait, if you were finding out stuff from her, what about the cards and the candles? Those were just tarot cards, silly. I read them for fun. But when Brittany told me